అయిపోయిన తర్వాత స్టాప్
అయిపోయిన తర్వాత
స్టాప్
స్టాప్
మీరు అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మినిమైజ్ చేస్తున్నాను, కంటిన్యూ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
Good morning everyone. I am Dr. Chandra Reddy, first year PG Community Medicine. Today we are going to discuss about the history of community medicine. In course of evolution of medicine, there are different historical stages. Initially, people followed traditional medicine man, priest, herbalist and the magician, who were the doctors of the ancient era. Next one is biological and natural sciences, social and behavioral sciences. Modern medicine explosion of knowledge in 20th century made medicine more complex and treatment more costly, which lead to differences in healthcare between developing and developed, rural and urban, poor and rich, so which leads to social injustice. WHO trying to decrease inequalities with help of all countries by setting Millennium Development Goals and Sustainable Development Goals. Presently, there are goals of modern medicine. So, modern medicine no longer merely treatment of sickness. It includes prevention of disease, promotion of health, improvement of the quality of life of individuals and communities. Primitive medicine. So, medicine was conceived in sympathy, born out of necessity. There were few theories which people believe that the disease is due to supernatural theory of disease, in which they think that they attributed disease to human sufferings and other calamities to the wrath of gods, the invasion of body by evil spirits, and malevolent influence of stars and planets, as his knowledge was very limited. So that's why he prayed the god and rituals, sacrifice for god, which he thought that God will help him to decrease his sufferings. And other witchcraft and other cruel methods using charms and amulets to protect from evil spirits. And they also used herbs and magic to decrease their they thought that they may relieve their pain or disease. Stone and flint was used to do circumcisions, amputations and trimming of the skull. In India, the Ayurveda is the mainly practiced medicine during throughout the India. So actually, all over the India, the Ayurveda was the dominant practice, and Siddha system was mainly practiced in Tamil-speaking South India. There was a Dhanvantari, the Hindu god of medicine. It was 5000 BC, and which later gradually developed into Ayurveda. King Ashoka patronized Ayurveda as state medicine. Charaka Samhita mentions 500 drugs. The Indian snake root, which is Rauwolfia, from which reserpine was extracted, which actually used to treat for the snake bites, but later we found that it was effective for treatment of hypertension. Susruta was the father of Indian surgery, and Susruta Samhita was written by Susruta. It was 800 BC to 400 AD. Hygiene was given important role in ancient Indian medicine. The laws of Manu were a code of personal hygiene. So there was evidences from Mohenjo-daro and Harappa knowledge of sanitation, water supply and engineering. Golden age of Indian medicine was from 500 BC to 600 AD. And Unani tip was introduced by Muslim rulers in 10th century. Homeopathy was introduced in 1810 by British. Chinese medicine. They claims to be the world's first organized body of medical knowledge dating back to 2700 BC. The yang active masculine principle and the yin negative feminine principle, the balance of these two opposite forces mean good health. Early pioneers of immunization, so they practice a variolation to prevent smallpox. To a Chinese, the great doctor is one who treats not someone who is already ill, but someone not yet ill. Like now we call it as a prevention of the disease. And there were doctors, barefoot doctors, and acupuncture attracted worldwide attention. Great faith in modern medicine. So Egyptian medicine. This is the oldest civilizations in about 2000 BC. Invented pictures, writing, and papyrus. Physicians were co-equals to priests. So they actually preserve the human body, which now we call it as a mummies, reach its peak during Imhotep. Believed disease was due to harmful substances absorbed by intestine, which leads to formation of the pus and other uh, diseases. Edwin Smith Papyrus describes partial paralysis following skull fracture. Ebers Papyrus, he prescribed about 800 prescriptions based on 700 drugs, which was found with mummy on the banks of the Nile. So another ancient medicine was Mesopotamian medicine. It lies between Euphrates and Tigris rivers, now part of Iraq. It was contemporary with the ancient Egyptian civilization. Classified doctors as herb, knife, spell doctors. That time they classified the doctors. So now we call it as a physician, surgeon, and psychiatrist, respectively. Code of Hammurabi. Drastic laws for conduct of physicians. So if doctors did any mistakes while treating a patient dead, the doctors ran the risk of being killed due to proposed therapy proved wrong. Greek medicine. The classic period of Greek medicine was from 460 to 136 BC. They taught men to think in terms of why and how. Asclepius, still cherished in medical circles, his staff entwined by serpent continues to be the symbol of medicine. Still we are using on our vehicles. Okay, the symbol is, which is the Asclepius symbol. Asclepius bore two daughters who are Hygeia, preventive medicine, which leads to at present fashionable among the intellectuals. So Panacea, which is a curative medicine, so from which we will get the more cash actually. So later in Greek medicine, another person we have to mention here is Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, studied and classified diseases based on observations and reasoning. Corpus Hippocratum. His lectures and writings compiled by Alexandrian scholars. Some of the sayings of Hippocrates are: life is short, the art of long, opportunity fleeting, experience treacherous, and judgment difficult. Also, he is an epidemiologist, distinguishing between epidemic and endemic diseases, and studied relationship between climate, water, clothing, diet, habits of eating and drinking with producing disease. His book airs water and places stress on social medicine and hygiene. Roman medicine. So Roman actually borrowed their medicine from Greeks whom they had conquered. Roman philosophy is the state, not the individual, was the supreme. Roman people were very practical minded people. So the public health was born in Rome with the development of baths, sewers, and aqueducts, which the sanitation was maintained. Drained marshes to combat malaria and established hospitals for sick. So Galen, physician for Roman emperor, contribution in field of comparative anatomy and experimental physiology. He is the author of 500 treatises on medical subjects. He observed that disease is due to three factors: predisposing, exciting, and environmental factors. His writing influenced European medicine, accepted as standard textbooks in medicine for 14 centuries, till his teachings and views were challenged by Vesalius in 1543 and the physiologist William Harvey in 1628, till after 1500 years after his death. In Middle Ages, it is from 500 to 1500 AD. With the fall of Roman Empire, medical schools established in Roman times also disappeared. Dark ages of medicine, as again the people believed that the disease is caused by some supernatural theories and magics. They believed, again they started believing, so that's why they again Arabs translated the Greek Roman medical literature into Arabic and helped preserve the ancient knowledge, developed their own system Unani. So British people were believed the, again this is caused by the evil spirits and other supernatural theories. So but these Arabs was still believed the Roman medical literature. So that's why they converted the into their own language, Arabic. So Rhazes was director of a large hospital in Baghdad, was first observed pupillary reaction to light to use mercury purgatives. Arabs contributed large on pharmacology. They introduced a wide range of syrups, oils, pills, and powders. They first invented the art of prescriptions. So the Middle Ages were with a mixed practices. Like British people followed the same ancient methods, but Arabs little bit they learn from the Greece and Roman medical literature, and they uh, research to find the medicines. So Christianity exerted in wholesome influence, which leads to establishment of the hospitals, fountains to cool fever patients, libraries, musicians and storytellers for the sleepless. Then slowly the medicine was developed. The late Middle Ages. Dawn of scientific medicine. So after 1500 AD, the medicine again gained the research towards the development. Fracastorius, founder epidemiology, explained theory of contagion, infection transmitted by minute invisible particles, said syphilis transmitted by sexual contact. And in the 17th and 18th centuries were full of discoveries. Harvey discovery circulation of blood, Leeuwenhoek's microscope, and then the Stanley Avenue was came in which they used the clean water. They did a lot of this underground drainage systems they developed, and they use other methods for sanitation, bathing, and all, which developed during the 1500 to 1600 AD. So rise of public health, birth of public health concept in 1840. John Stow studied the epidemiology of cholera. Cholera we consider as the father of public health in London, 1848 to 1854, and established role of polluted drinking water. Germ theory of disease was demonstrated by the French bacteriologist Louis Pasteur in 1860. He said that there is a bacteria in the hair. Robert Koch in 1877 showed anthrax was caused by bacteria. Birth of preventive medicine. James Lind suggested intake of fresh fruits and vegetables for prevention of scurvy in 1753. Edward Jenner discovered vaccination against smallpox. Pasteur's anti-rabies treatment, cholera vaccine in 1892, diphtheria antitoxin in 1894, anti-typhoid vaccine in 1898, antiseptics and disinfectants was introduced during this period. 1898, Rose found malaria was transmitted by the Anopheles. In modern medicine now, there are two types of medicines. One is curative medicine, another one is preventive medicine. So as we know, curative medicine includes all general medicine, general surgery, pediatrics, and other specialties. And preventive medicine object is prevention of disease and promotion of health. Introduction of vaccine anti-sera leads to decline in diphtheria and tetanus, typhoid fever and other. Development of antiviral vaccine, polio vaccine in 1955 to 1960. The eradication of smallpox. The last case occurred in Somalia in 1977. Discoveries in field of nutrition. So they discovered the different kind of deficiencies and the treatment for the deficiencies by giving vitamins, minerals, protein and other nutrients. Discovery of synthetic insecticides, for example DDT, HCG, malathion, which we use it to kill the insects. Screening for the diagnosis of disease in its pre-symptomatic stage, which leads to we detect the disease in early stages so that we can stop advancing, we can prevent the future development of the disease. Social medicine concept. There was a change in concept in public health. There was a disease control phase during 1880 and 1920. Next, health promotional phase during 1920 to 1960, which includes mother and child health care, school health, industrial health and mental health and rehabilitation services. Next stage is social engineering phase, in which developed during 1960 to 1980. Health for all phase from 1981 to 2000, which fills the gap between rich and poor within countries and between countries, should be narrowed and ultimately eliminated is the goal of health for all phase. Medical revolution. High technology medicine leads to wrong direction of health system, away from health promotion for the many towards expensive treatment for the few. Social control of medicine. Community participation in planning, organization and management of their own health services. Health by the people. Family medicine. Healthcare centered on the family as a unit. So the family physician concept was developed to take care of the whole family. And later community medicine is a newcomer which deals with population sick and well, plan and administer services, engaged in research and teaching. This is the successor of public health, later community health, finally preventive and social medicine. Now it became community medicine. Healthcare revolution. Health for all. 30th World Health Assembly resolved in May 1977. The main social target of governments and WHO in the coming decade should be the attainment by all citizens of the world by the year 2000 of a level of health that will permit them to lead a socially and economically productive life. And primary health care. Joined WHO UNICEF International Conference in 1978 at Alma Ata. They proposed to fill the gap between poor and rich, developed and developing countries, and urban and rural healthcare. They proposed the primary healthcare, in which they covered the all people and same treatment. So they suggested the involvement of the deprofessionalization of the medicine, like Anganwadi and multi-purpose health workers, ANMs, so that with the help of them healthcare was distributed evenly to all people. Millennium Development Goals. In September 2000, 189 countries representative met at New York to adapt to the United Nations Millennium Declaration. There were specific commitments even in 7 areas reached by year 2015. So the main goals are peace and security and disarmament, development and poverty eradication, protecting our common environment, human rights, democracy and good governance, protecting the vulnerable, meeting the special needs of Africa, strengthening the United Nations. These are the goals developed during September 2018. Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals are integrated, that is, they recognize that action in one area will affect outcomes in others, and that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. So there are 17 goals, 169 targets, 1034 events, 1221 publications, and 5285 actions. So these 17 goals are no poverty. So zero hunger. Third one is good health and well-being. Quality education. Fifth one is gender equality. Sixth one is clean water and sanitation. Seventh one is affordable and clean energy. Eighth, decent work and economic growth. 9, industry innovation and infrastructure. 10, reduced inequalities. 11, sustainable cities and communities. 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. 14, life below water. 15, life on land. Peace, justice and strong institutions are 16th one. Last one is partnership for the goals. So conclusion, contemporary medicine is no longer solely in art, science for the diagnosis and treatment of disease. It is also the science for the prevention of disease and promotion of health. We have to review our errors and achievements. This is how medicine evolved down the centuries. Medicine will continue to evolve so long as man's quest for better health continues. This is for today. Thank you very much.